Good morning to everybody. Praise be the Lord, now and forever. And congratulations, yesterday was your day. So happy Students' Day. And today doing the class like this. I think every time we have the last class of the week, will be in this way with a YouTube class, a video you will see. So as you can see here, we have the guess and check exercise. The last one we solved. And that exercise, it's done, and I think you're clear with how the guess and check works. So here's the exercise. You can see the decomposition of the factor x to the second power and the decomposition of the independent term, which is just 6, in this case positive 6, require that you find that specific combination in order to conclude the factorization of these type of expressions. Not complicated at all, just that it requires that we be sure about the job. So again, I'm gonna repeat, how do I check the guess that I did? In this case, we're gonna try in red, and what I normally do is that I multiply like this. I'm gonna multiply x times 2x, sorry, x times positive 2, which gives me positive 2x. X times positive 3, which gives me positive 3x. That's something you already know. And of course, the way to check that is operate those. Sometimes one of those is negative, or maybe probably both are negatives. How do you know when both will be negative or when both will be positive? Okay, the sign of this independent term helps you a lot in order to conclude as well in what case you are. So if that one, instead of being positive like it is right now, is negative, suppose that is negative, so then one of those 3 or 2 must be negative, okay? And all that we have to do in here, like I told you, is just solve that simple operation. So what's positive 2 and positive 3? Both are positive, so those have to be added, those can be added. And if you add this, you're gonna have the result positive 5x, which is the expression between. And that help us, this expression between is the one that tell us that we conclude the exercise, and that the guess we did is the one that works for our exercise. So I wanna show you a little practice with these exercises, and probably I'm gonna add exercises where we change that sign into a positive or negative number, requiring here positive or negative things, okay? As you can see, here is the practice. There are 3 exercises, very easy. And the 3 exercise contains the thing that I told you, okay? So I'm gonna try the possible combinations in order to conclude which one will work for this exercise. Starting with that one, x to the second power minus 2x minus 15. So something interesting, you're gonna decompose x to the second power every time. In these cases, like x times x. So I think we can get the first decomposition of this part, x times x, as you can see. It becomes to be interesting, and I'm saying this, that's gonna be interesting, because here sometimes you have a number. And what happens when you have a number? Then the expression change, okay? I mean, decompose x to the second power is too easy. All you have to do is x times x, and that's it. But what happens if instead of x to the second power, you have 2x to the second power? Then you have to look for the way to decompose the 2 and the x to the second power at the same time. It's very important you remember this type of factorization, the guess and check, I mean, in a complex way. And probably I will show you one example. I'm gonna conclude presenting you some exercises of the homework. How can you do it in a website that I will leave in the link in the description below. You can check it, and you can use it in order to practice, to check your practices, just to check. I mean, don't lie to yourself. If you're gonna do the exercise, do it by yourself first, and then with that website, you can check any expression, okay? I'm gonna show you this. So let's try, let's guess which combination will help us. 15 can be decomposed like, what about 15 times 1? But being negative, having a negative 15, we have a big need. And that need, the need that we have is that we have to work this expression. We have to work this expression. We're gonna work in green better. We have to work this expression in the decomposition, one of the two elements is negative. Let's try with 15 times negative 1. I think it doesn't have sense that you try this kind of expressions if you know that 15 and negative 1 will never give 2. I mean, that's something you can like analyze instead of trying, or instead of check like I'm gonna do it right now. So here is positive 15 and here is x. I mean positive 15x and here is negative x. So if you operate that, that's gonna be positive 14x, which is not the expression between. It means that it's not the factorization. I mean, are not the factors that will help us to create the factorization of this. Remember, the factorization is show your expression, your polynomial, like the multiplication of other expression in a simplest way. So moving here, we have other possible combination, which is 5 times 3. And what happens if you decide to have the 3 like a negative number? Because remember, if it's negative, the 15, that last number is negative, one of those must be negative. If it's not like this, then your the procedure, or the moment that you check, you will see that everything goes wrong. So let's check if this combination is the one that will help us. So x times 5 is positive 5x, positive. Then x times negative 3 is negative 3x. And as you can see, if we operate 5x minus 3x, that's exactly positive 2x, positive 2x, but we don't want that. We want it negative, okay? So how can I solve that problem? Okay, now I'm gonna guess other way, and I'm gonna guess these 3 like positive and these 5 like negative. Of course, this one's gonna work, because if you remember how to work with integers, you're gonna conclude that answer quickly. I mean, x times negative 5 is negative 5x. X times positive 3 is positive 3x. And if you operate negative 5 plus 3x, you're gonna have negative 2x, which means that our factorization, or the factorization, that exercise is going to be, and here's where I apply the scissor thing, okay? X plus 3 and x minus 5. So this is the factorization of this expression. Very easy, very interesting. And all that you have to do is apply as well that method of guess and check. Let's see the other one. And as you can see here, it's important that you consider again that if this number you have in here is positive, then your two expressions will be positives or negatives at the moment that you decompose. It's an important trick you don't have to forget, because sometimes we create a possible combination that looks like they work, but they don't work, because remember that it's a decomposition of a number. And if the number there is positive, just two options. Or that is decomposition that you do contains two positive numbers, or the decomposition that you do contains two negative numbers. So solving that exercise, we're gonna have next. Okay, always x and x for x to the second power. And how can I decompose 8? 8 can decompose like 8 times 1, but I think it's not gonna work inclusively if both are negatives or both are positives. And don't say one's gonna be positive, one's gonna be negative. Impossible, because negative times positive gonna give you negative. Okay, so how can you decompose that one? Other way could be, okay, we say 8 times 1. What about 4 times 2? 4 times 2, it looks like it's gonna work. 4 times 2. If you work with both negatives, I think the result you're gonna have is negative 6x. But if you work both positives, you work like this with both positives, they're gonna have 4x positive, and then you're gonna have 2x positive. Of course, the addition of those will give you positive 6x. So that's why I told you that this works like a puzzle game. And once you get that, you already get the factors or the elements for the factorization. Factorization is going to be x plus 2 times x plus 4. Let's go to the last one. Last one's more interesting. And as you can see, 4 and 2 with a positive number, talking about the 8, we'll create 6. We'll give you 6. But in here, we got negative 9. So that exercise to relate. So let's decompose that one like x times x. And here, of course, there's just one way to combine to get that 9 using that 8. And he's decomposed that one like 8 times 1. Something's going to happen if you leave it like this. Then you're going to have positive 8x. Okay, the way that it works is multiply like this and multiply it x times 1. So then you have 1x or just x if you want. So operating this, then you're going to have positive 9x. But if you see, we don't want positive, we want negative. So how can we solve that? So I have been, I told you, and I have been doing it, saying that this positive number at the end, or this number, this positive sign, tells you one thing, that both numbers will have the same sign. So, or both are positive, like right now, but it doesn't work, or both are negatives, which will work, and will let us conclude as well the expression that we want. So it means that our factorization here is x minus 1 times x minus 8. If you write first x minus 8 and then x minus 1, no problem. No problem. I mean, you're going to have the answer. So this is short practice about the guess and check method. I hope you practice your own. If you want, try to solve again these 3 exercises. There are some exercises in the book too. It's like in the first chapter. And something that we should do, just in order to be sure that our factorization works, is check. So I'm going to check each of the exercises. In this case, I'm going to check x plus 3 times x minus 5. And the product of this will give me x to the second power minus 2x minus 15. So here it is, x times x, x to the second power. Then x times negative 5, negative 5x. Then we go with the 3. 3 times x is positive 3x. And 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. So as you can see here, we have a pair of like terms, these ones. We have to add them. So then we're going to have x to the second power minus 2x minus 15. And as you can see, it's the result. Let's do the same with the other one in order just to check. Of course, that checking is not something that you have to do, it's something that you should do in order just to check the job you did. So x times x, x squared. We have the first part, x times 4, positive 4x. Next one, 2 times x, it's 2x. I'm distributing each of these ones, as you can see, like the distributive property. We normally apply these exercises. Now I'm doing it with the 2. 2 times x, 2x, so 2 times 4, now it's 8, positive 8. As you can see here, we're going to have the same result. I mean, the same expression, that one. So x squared plus 6x plus 8. And to conclude, I'm going to do the last one. And then I'm going to show you like something that will help you to conclude the homework this week. Of course, I prefer that you apply this method, but there's one exercise that will challenge yourself. It's related with this guess and check. You will see it in a few minutes. I'm going to distribute x, and I'm going to multiply x times x, and then x times negative 8. So x times x is x to the second power. X times negative 8 is negative 8x. Negative 1 times x, and then negative 1 times negative 8. So negative 1 times x is negative x. Then negative 1 times negative 8 is positive 8. So as you can see, we have the result. There's negative 8 and negative x, which is negative 1x. So they are like terms. If you operate those, then you have the same result, which is negative 9x plus 8. And with that, we conclude this exercise, this short practice about the factorization method called the guess and check method. So I hope that you get it. I mean, it's not complicated. It's very easy. You should practice your own these exercises. Okay, so I'm gonna erase this, gonna clean this in order then to start moving to our homework, to the homework that we have. And once we finish the homework, I mean the ideas for the homework, As you will see, homework of this week is very easy, and you should send it today if you can. But it's for um, Saturday. I think it's Saturday 13. Yes, Saturday 13, June 13. You should send it that date specifically. But if you want to like send it today, it's better. It's better that you send that today, but way you save more time. So here's the homework. As you can see, always mandatory information, please. Your date, the date, and something important, your name. Some students are like avoiding that important information, and in this homework you should pay attention a lot on little details. Okay, so look for little details in the whole homework, and probably it will help you too. Of course, I want to help you, not solving it, just telling you how you're gonna solve it. So as you can see here, reading the instructions says move the corresponding factorization for next quadratic expression. Each expression factorization is two terms, okay? Then move those terms to the corresponding expression. Means that if you said the answer of that expression is gonna be that one, is wrong. Because here you must fit two terms, okay? So this is just one. You have to move two terms in there. For example, I don't know. And I move this one and this one in here. Not because of the color, just because I want, okay? And I move this one just to show you. Okay, what happened if I move like this? Then if I'm sure that this is the factorization, I'm gonna leave it there. So in this homework, again, all you have to do is like move the expressions over there, and that's gonna be all. I mean, but the situation is not just move it. You have to solve that factorization, look for the way to solve it. So here you can see there are the methods from a common factor. Common factor again. Here a guess and check exercise like the one we did, like the 3 exercises we did. So you can probably identify what's the factorization very quickly. And here's the last one. This one's most interesting because that one is a guess and check, but it's a guess and check that challenge yourself, because here you have to decompose the two and find a perfect combination. Of course, that's a topic we're gonna study the next week, but I want, because you told me that you already see the topic, I mean you already saw the topic, I already studied the topic. So I want to challenge yourself with this exercise. Of course, not a challenge, it's something easy. And try it. I mean, try it. It's very important that you keep in mind how to factorize expressions, because factorization in algebra is very important. It's going to be important for next year. It's going to be useful, and it will help you a lot in many topics of math. Specifically in the university, first classes of math always are related with the algebra, and that's why I wanted that you be sure that you have that skill yourself. So here you have the options. Of course, not all the option fits there. I mean, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Sorry, just 8. I mean, there are 4. 2 here, 2 here, 2 there, and 2 in the last one. So you're gonna have 8 options that you have to use. Of course, here you don't have 8 options, you have more. So some of these ones will not be useful, okay? And something that you should do once you finish your answers. Okay, let's just move the expression. Here is one. No, I'm just doing something randomly, just to conclude here, to show you here that the squares fit. You don't have to change the size or something. All that you have to do is move it, move those. I think just in the last one, we have some troubles. So I'm doing this, are not the answers, of course, just showing you how this work, very easy. You see all that you have to do is like move those blocks. And my recommendation is, okay, this last one, I think that it will not, no, it fit. My recommendation is that once you have the answer like that, screenshot that, okay? Leave your Zoom as 100%, screenshot that, and paste that screenshot in here. Hey, there I am. So that's gonna be the homework, guys. I hope that you send that on the time. Here is for when it is for Saturday, June 13th. Send it another time. That way we're gonna check those homework on Sunday, and you're gonna have your scores. Remember that you're almost closer to the 100 points. So please Don't stop sending those homework. And here is like a recommendation I do once you finish your work, once you finish the practice, and do it like this, because by that way you're gonna be like sure about the work you did. That way you're gonna have 10 points, 10 perfect points for you. So I recommend to use this website, which is called wolframalpha.com. And specifically, I'm in the section that solve any quadratic, or in this case, factorize any quadratic expression. You can write in Google factorization or factorize quadratic expression. You can write it like that, and you will find many many websites that can help you. So I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you this, and that way you're gonna see better about what I am talking about. And of course, you can check your work. I show you how. Just multiply the two factors, and that's it. I'm gonna show you with this one. Okay? And you will see what's the factorization. So I'm gonna give you practically the answer of this exercise: 14x to the second power minus 21x. So how can you write 14x to the second power? Just write 14x2. Calculator, this calculator already understand that you have 14x to the second power plus the other part, which is minus 21. If you push enter, so calculator can understand sometimes that you are doing an operation. So something that you should do is, like, at the moment that you write the expression, choose one of these ones, okay? Choose one of these ones and then modify it. I'm choosing this one. Of course, this is an equation. Then we're gonna see how to solve equations. But right now, we just want to write this expression. So 14x, if you don't find this in your keyboard, just choose one of these ones like I told you, and that way you're gonna have that quadratic expression. Here is minus 21. And interesting thing related with this is that shows you many things. For example, it shows you the graph. Okay? It shows you the name of the geometric figure, which in this case is the parabola, it says. Oh, sorry, here is 21x. There is something wrong here, it's 21x, there it is. Now we're gonna see the factorization. Okay, that's the parabola, still being a parabola, it's a quadratic expression. As you can see, here is the factorization, so you can probably find that factorization over there in the homework. And if one of this one is repeated, so you should copy and paste, but I think it's not the case in here. But if that happened, just copy and paste. And as you can see here, shows you like step by step how to factorize that expression. The common factor, the factor out, everything is a simple way to identify or to understand these topics. Of course, this is a little help when you're like, I don't have any idea about how to factorize it, because remember, you're winning skills. The skills of factorizing mathematics, I told you, it's very important. So I hope that you do the homework. You can use that website. I'm gonna leave this in the description of this YouTube video. Of course, you can look for it like Wolfram Alpha, and you're gonna have exactly this expression you have in here. But if it's not like this, look for another website that can help you to solve or to factorize quadratic expressions or any expression. Because next part of the class, I mean, when we finish the quadratic ones, we're going to talk about polynomials, and then we're going to see how to factorize polynomials in general. That's an important idea that will be done with the syntactic division. We're going to apply many algebraic properties for polynomials that will help us to conclude that. So as always, guys, thank you for your time. Do your homework, send it on the time, and that's all for today. So thank you for your time as always. Guys, see you in the next one, and have a nice weekend.